Hello, welcome back to Tetra and Taylor's YouTube channel. I am Taylor, and I am here to talk about the second No Kings protest, which happened last Saturday, October 18th, 2025. And of course, I was not paid to be there. I don't believe I had talked to or saw anybody that was paid to be there. I heard a lot of people say we weren't getting paid. I don't know why people think that we get paid to protest, because I sure don't. I would like it. You know, if it's like, say, I don't know, where do we sign up to get paid to go to these protests? That would be a good job. I can be a professional protester. I can make good signs. I got good handwriting. It's nice. Like it. And on the note that people think, as there has been talk that these protests involve paid protesters, I want to say it would be impossible. It would be impossible to pay all the 7 million people who showed up at more than 2,500 separate cities across the country. Yes, and even you, Kitty, would not be able to pay everybody. So 7 million, I figure that is about 2.9 maybe percent of the U.S. population. There is a magical percentage number that gets tossed around a lot as far as what the percentage of a country's population that needs to be engaged in nonviolent protest in order to affect good social change. And you know what that number is, Kitty? That number is 3.5% of the population. And that turns out to be somewhere between 11 and 12 million as far as the United States population goes. So, if there's 11 or 12 million of us and we keep coming out to these protests, maybe we can do something. Now, of course, this threshold assumes sustained protest over time. And Bella has left the table.
Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey,
I do have to say, after you march and get to the end, just what do you do next? I stood around for a while. I watched more people march in. Eventually, Pike Place got pretty freaking crowded. And I went to the bus tunnel and went home. Hi, Bella. Hi. This is Bella. But, given the size, the scope of these events happening all across the country, that's what makes these events safe. Going into the first event, I remember making plans in case I got pepper sprayed or the police were there, ICE was there roughing us up, was there to rough us up. They weren't. People bring their kids to these events. If you're somebody who is an undocumented immigrant, it's safe for you to show up and protest for your own rights during these events, because the ICE can't be everywhere. This Gestapo force that we have in this country, kidnapping our own people, kidnapping our neighbors, there is not enough ICE officers in this country to be at every single one of these No Kings events all across the country. However, the militarized zones that we're seeing in Portland or Chicago, those are hotbeds of unrest. We saw the guy in the frog suit get pepper sprayed in the air intake a couple weeks ago. I have seen Chicago journalist Kat Abuzala get thrown down by ICE officers multiple times during her protest to the ongoing occupation of Chicago. And yes, it is totally important to have sustained protest in these places. But regardless of what the detractors of the No Kings movement say, be they the leftists or on the right, these protests are important outlets for people who otherwise couldn't participate in this movement to get out and make their voices heard. Get out and be feet on the ground to support our neighbors and to support the people who we love who are in danger in this country right now. When it comes to critiques from the left, The left says that this movement can co-opt the entire idea of fighting for democracy, and that it's not going far enough. It is preaching absolute nonviolence as a way to affect social change. Now, think about it though. They are asking us to be violent. They say that this movement can be co-opted by the existing democratic power structure and the existing left-wing media to not really be an effective avenue for change, and that nonviolence doesn't really get you anywhere. And when it comes to places like Fox News, they're like, it's all just old white people. But I mean, I am, I guess, demonstrably an older white man, but that's really there is, especially here in Seattle, we have like a lot of white left-wing people, and a lot of us are old. We're not getting any younger. But like, you know, who started the Tea Party? It was started by old white people. It was discontent among old white people that created a movement that eventually became this MAGA movement that ushered Donald Trump into the White House. And now this No Kings thing, this can become our Tea Party movement, where we affect real change in the Democratic Party and transform it into something that is really working for the people. But we need to keep getting out there. We need to keep making our voices heard, or else nothing will ever happen. We can remake the Democratic Party into the agent of change and equal rights that it's always supposed to have been. This is our chance to start remaking our country into the country that we were promised as children. This here is the time to share our experiences, to let people know that they're not alone and that they are safe to make their voices heard. Because if we don't exercise our ability to make our voices heard, we are going to lose that right. This is the time for us to share our experiences that we have had at these events, to share like the feeling of community and the excitement and the feeling like it doesn't have to be the way that they are telling us it has to be. That we don't have to live in this country where our neighbors are getting torn away from their families and shipped to alligator Alcatraz or whatever weird fascist shit that they've decided that they're going to be pulling this week. This is our time to organize and get more people involved in this movement, because we will march again, and we will get that 11, 12 million people on the ground, and we will just keep going, and we won't stop. And we won't stop, because this is just the beginning. So in the end, you know, stay woke, or at least stop being a fascist. I mean, if you're doing a couple fascist thoughts, just don't. Work on it. Reflect. Self-reflection. Anyway, please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Also, go over to the No Kings YouTube channel. Watch their final thoughts about last Saturday's event. Subscribe to their channel. And yeah, stay woke.